Hello, students. Sorry about that. I thought that I was like opening up another tab to quickly set the game changer thing, and apparently just started showing everything that was happening. So, hello. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw us right onto the page then where we're playing this game. There we go. All right. So today we're gonna be playing Paper Mario 64 again. I know that I said that we were going to be doing Minecraft, but unfortunately some issues arrived. You know what? It's to the point where I think actually I'm gonna quickly close out of this game actually and show you all what exactly I had planned on doing. I just realized that that would probably be a little bit better of a way to start. An explanation as to why we're not doing the Minecraft SMP today. So let's pop open this gaming instead so that you all can see what it is. This will be very quick. We're talking like 1-2 minutes to get this all sorted out and let you see why it is that I'm not doing the SMP today. So, game capture. Oh, well, it's not responding. There we go. Okay. Game capture over to Minecraft. Minecraft, there we go. Single player. Okay, I recreated everything that I was planning on doing. I did it in my creative world, so I could show you what it is that this was. So here was my plan. My plan was down at the very bottom, because I'd mentioned trying to make my base at the origin point, 0, 0, 0, right? That's what I wanted to do. First issue with that was that the whole area, so annoying, the whole area was underwater caverns. So the whole area was filled with water, which meant if I wanted to turn it all into a base, I had to place blocks in the area to completely fill it up and delete the water source blocks. It was so annoying and it was so frustrating because it's not just like one big square room. It's like caverns that are twisty and that once you get far enough in it, if you break one block, it enters into a whole nother cavern. It was a huge issue. So here's what I had been planning on doing. What I've been planning on doing was making this point 0, 0, 0 right here and having this be what you saw, just a blank wall. To the point where you're like, I thought Mr. Multimedia said that his place was going to be here. Well, I set up a little area so that it would trigger and open up and let you down into the house. It's a very fun little contraption that I saw someone put together. It basically relies on this block right here has a Minecraft hopper underneath it that then sets things around, triggers a whole like redstone reaction here to make it so that, here, you can even see it just a little bit. Hold on. Maybe I should be on the outside if you really want to see this. So you can see some slime pistons are being used to open and close this thing repeatedly. And it's quite a funny little bit of mechanical engineering here, and I think it's really cool. However, it requires a couple of ingredients. Now, the whole redstone machine, I had all the tools I needed for that, I had all the stuff I needed for it. It was fine. I could easily do that. I would have had to go collect a little more iron in order to make all the hoppers, but it would have been fine. Here was the issue. The issue was that the sticky pistons... Oh, whoops, my bad. I threw that in the wrong place. The sticky pistons that are activating here to pull this in, they need slime balls. And I was unable to find any slime balls. After a couple hours of searching, I managed to find a swamp way off and away from where the base was. I managed to find one. And for the life of me, I could not get slimes to spawn there at all. So, in the end, I decided, rather than spending today trying to either be in a swamp searching for slime balls or spending more and more time just filling in all of these waterlogged caverns, I thought the best thing to do instead would be to have us go ahead and play Super Mario. Gosh, Paper Mario 64, that's the name of the game. Dear goodness, my mind's all over the place today. So yeah, I tried my hardest. I tried to make it so that we would actually be able to play that today and make some fun, kind of interesting progress there. But as it is, it's just kind of hitting the point where the better thing to do right now is just simply play a game that I enjoy a lot more as a way of calming down. So, hello, Santiago. All right, this should then work once I pop open this. There we go. Oh, it's a little bit, that's weird. Hold on. It's a little scuffed. I don't know why that is. Hold on. Let me push that up there, I guess. Weird. It's very... Normally I have like a little bit of a border to it, but it seems to be capturing it exactly, which is kind of freaking it out. There we go. Okay. So now over here, Control Z. No? All right, hold on, everyone. This thing is freaking out on me. Oh, I tried to have this set up before the stream, and I did, but the fact that I went over and did the Minecraft instead made it freak out. Okay, here we go. All right, that's what I wanted. Now here, game capture, extend it once again. Boom. Okay, there we go, people. Yes, more Super Mario Pepper. That's a fun way to put it. Yeah, Paper Mario 64 has been a great game for me to be playing here. I'm so glad that so many people have come in and enjoyed me playing it. We're moving on to this next area here. Where the goal is to go to LavaLava Island, and I'm so excited because this character, Colorado, is one of my favorite characters in Paper Mario just because he's so silly. Multimedia heads rise up. Hey, hey, punk. Who am I, you say? Well, my dear chap, I am none other than Colorado, famed adventurer and archaeologist. I'm touring the world, and you're Mario. Yes, what are you doing here? Well, I for one am traveling bravely to LavaLava Island in the southern sea to solve a diabolical mystery. It would seem that there are ancient treasures awaiting in a volcanic cave. I'm in a bit of a fix, though. No way to get there, you see. Think now, Colorado, how to cross the sea. So, Colorado is, yes, Paper Mario 64. It's so good on the Nintendo 64. It means it's probably a bit older than most of the people that I teach by a fair bit, but it's really enjoyable to have. So, Colorado is going to be kind of our constant companion while we're adventuring on LavaLava Island. Ouch. So, this whale is going to help us get to LavaLava Island. Oh, good heavens. I was wondering what this was. It seems to be a huge tuna. So you can already kind of see the personality that Colorado has. Once he has decided something is what it is, he sticks to it. Ooh, I'm not a tuna, I'm a whale. And I have problems. It feels like something's jumping around in my belly. Help me. I say, old boy, this great tuna seems to have a bit of a bellyache, despite just being told he's a whale. Mario, what say you lend the fish a hand, I told you I'm not even a tuna, I'm not even a fish. I have a headache from your jumping around on me too. Do you think you could check my belly? I'm begging you, please. Here we go. Okay, this should be a relatively straightforward fight. Let me make sure I have the right badges for it. Right. I think this will be fine. Okay, that reminds me that our level up, and I think we will get a level up here. Our level up here should get us a, more badge power. I knew that it was right about here. And I don't think you can get first strike on this fight. But yeah, so this is a piece of bait that was being used by the fishermen in this area. Called a fuzzipede. So, let me see, do I have? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm doing quite a bit of damage to this guy. Now, the reason I'm leaving Watt out is because this whole area becomes dark if you don't have Watt. Sort of the same way that the area was dark with the ghost when we were getting Watt as our partner. If we don't have Watt out, then we can't attack anyone. It doesn't matter what our strategy is. We're not able to do it. Okay. So right now, I remember now, the other badge I was thinking of equipping was the hammer that lets you essentially do a POW block. It's like Smash Hammer or something like that, which attacks all enemies on the floor and the ceiling. However, we didn't really need it because we also had just our nice star power here. Okay, we'll get a little more badge power so that we'll be able to equip the ice badge, which I'll need in a little bit. Shucks. First, I think I get away from that old fishing man, and then I get swallowed up by some huge fish, and then this fellow with the mustache goes upside my head. I've just been falling out of frying pans into fire since I was a little grub. Talk about a lousy lot in life. Mario, it's me. You know the whale? Can you hear me? That stomachache seems to have cleared right up. I feel fantastic. And it seems that we're going to be committing a little bit of a Finding Nemo here. Whoosh. There we go. Hey, it's you, boy. You're the dumb old fish that ate me all up and such. You plumb idiot. You know, I thought I was a goner for sure. I'm awfully sorry. I was just having a nap with my mouth open. Well, I can see my way of forgiving you this time. Just watch it. You were my thanks. Y'all take care now. They should call you Dr. Mario. So, Dr. Mario was another game that came out on the Nintendo 64 right before this. There must be some way I can express my gratitude. I, the tuna, I, the whale, am quite good at swimming. Seems Colorado's very good at being insistent. Pardon the eavesdropping. Did you just say you can go anywhere? Mario, you old tuna tamer, accompany me to the shores of LavaLava Island. What a trip it'll be. Trust my instincts. So here we go. The big whale is going to give us a ride. There's a big volcano on the island, and it's on the verge of erupting. Very dangerous. Do you still want to go? Okay, then it's your call. Just let me know when you want to go. So yeah, Colorado is going to come with us for this whole journey. It's going to be a hoot and a half, believe me. Sure this is safe then. Make some room, Off to LavaLava Island. The sea is calling. Can't believe we're on a tuna, Mario. You know how strange this is? I do. Is this... Dang it. So, I think it's only the first time we try to go back. So, there is... Remember how I said that the mini-boss fight of Junior Troopa takes place after almost every world? You may have noticed the Junior Troopa fight did not happen between the Toy Box world and this world. That's kind of the one exception. Now, I can trigger the fight early, I believe. I think if I go straight back to Toad Town and then head here again, I think it sets up the chance for the... I think it sets up the chance for the fight to happen. I'm not certain about it, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Yep, so if you want me to take you back to Toad Town, just ask. Right now, though, I think I'd rather level up and get some more materials and resources and stuff like that before trying to engage in the Junior Troop fight, because it's kind of meant for after this. Behold, Mario, there, off in the distance, the top of Mount LavaLava, triumphant, we must hurry, make haste. And away he goes. Okay, so there are a couple things here that I could do to be skipping ahead the game a little bit. One of the things I could do, by the way, this is not one of the things I could do. This is just a fun fact. If I spin on this flower, it lets me spin up. This is not something I knew when I was younger. It was only something I found out about during the randomizer. Also, some of these plants out here, they give you little benefits like hearts and coins and things. So, one of the things that I could be doing to kind of skip ahead is up over here, not this. I don't think I even want the stopwatch. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the stopwatch. I don't think I need that. I don't like items that have a chance of hurting. This coconut I also don't need. Anyway, one of the things I could be doing is, if I hop up here and hop over to here behind the grass, there's an exit over here that leads into the jungle. And I can start to clear away this path for the future. This is an enemy boss fight right here. You know what? We're just about to head to an area that has... I'm gonna play Super Mario Sunshine on my Nintendo Switch. Hey, that's fun, Santiago. Yeah, I love the games that they do that have their own little uniqueness to them. Like Paper Mario, it's, you know, everyone's made out of paper. It has a very different combat mechanic than the other one. Super Mario Sunshine has the flood gadget device. Like, I love it when Mario games, like, include something new that's very interesting and unique that we don't really ever see recreated exactly that way in the future. I think it's really interesting. Okay, all right. So, I am going to clear out this way to have made more progress, but I'm not actually going to do anything substantial. I more just wanted to show the fact that there are kind of like shortcuts all hidden throughout this sort of area. Yeah, I think we're just gonna down 2 more of these guys. The really good thing about fighting these bushes is they each give 3 XP, and like you saw, I don't take a lot of damage at all, even now, when I have on my defense badges. So the only exception is if I don't press A at the right time, I manage to block the damage. But even then, doing just 2 damage each if I manage to miss a thing is not bad. And getting 12 experience, also not very bad when a level up's just 100. So, in the future, this is going to be something I can shake, and there will be someone that I need to save inside of there. So I've just cleared out this path right now to help me out for the future. But off and away to go with Colorado. So Colorado went out this southern entrance over here, and is headed right now towards the volcano. Yarg, help, I say, help! Colorado is going to repeatedly get himself in an issue like this. I think there's technically a thing. I think if you run past him and don't help him, that it can trigger some stuff. I'm not certain about that. I prefer to help him anyway because it's a bunch of free experience. But I'm going to use Cooper here. Actually, no. I was thinking about using Cooper because they can use Power Shell and attack everyone. But I just realized that's probably not the best case scenario over here. I think the best thing I can do right now is fully finish attacking one of these guys. Like this, see? And now it's gone and defeated. And then I just want to get more damage on this next one. So there we go. These guys, the yellow fuzzies, I want to say... Oh my goodness, I forgot that on low health they just clone more versions of themselves. I want to say that these guys don't actually attack your health, that they attack your flower power. No, you know what? That's the green ones in the sequel to this game. So the sequel to this game, which is Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, also a stellar game that I would really love to play on stream. Okay, this guy's a bloodsucker, that's what it is. All right. But in the sequel to this game, the green fuzzies, which are also on an island jungle level, they just attack your flower power. So that's the mistake I was making there. Okay, let's pull ourselves together and press on. What do you say, So this island is fantastic in randomizers because all of these palm trees that are dropping coconuts, these are all unique items that end up dropping when you're actually playing the randomizer version. So you need to check all the trees, which is why sometimes I find myself checking the trees without really meaning to. Okay, so this is Yoshi's village. LavaLava is to the east of the village, but there's no way to reach it. It's gonna erupt any day now. So, I was saying Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Village has a lot of things in common with it, with the Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's Story games. Has a lot of different Yoshis and all their different shades that they pop up within the mainline game series. It also has the village leader of Yoshi's Village, which in some, like, I don't want to say fan fictions. I guess they're kind of fan fictions. Some fan theories, at least, about the Paper Mario series is that Yoshi Chief is actually the same Yoshi that helped you out in the game Yoshi's Island on the... I guess it's actually Yoshi's Story on the SNES and Yoshi's Island on the Game Boy. I forget exactly how it goes down. Anyway, so... we have a pretty good amount of stuff available to us here. I do want to go ahead and quickly use this Toad House to fully restore my HP and my star power, because we're about to have some fights coming up where it will be really good to just throw down a whole lot of damage all in one area like Starstorm does. But yeah. Okay, so you'll see also something I didn't really call out here. All of these Yoshi kids are around here, and they're saying things like, wow, it's so cool to meet you, Mario. You know, the grown-ups won't let us out of the village because they say it's too dangerous. That meddling old Cheep Cheep is always watching us, and she won't let us enter the jungle. We'll see about that. Us guys, the Fearsome Five, we aren't afraid of anything. So there are these 5 Yoshis here, all in different colors, green, red, blue, purple, yellow. And this Cheep Cheep up here, named Sushi, is in charge of babysitting them. So, I'd love to stop and chat, but I have my fins full. I'm watching these boys who are very, very naughty so they don't do anything dangerous. I can't prove it yet, but I bet they're planning something. Well, if they think they can fool Sushi, they'd better think again. Yeah, so if you keep on talking to these guys, you keep on getting kind of more and more hints of, like, these guys want adventure and they want to go into the jungle, the Fearsome Five, and the fact that they won't let Sushi stop them from doing that. I love the fact that this game, as long as you're talking to all the different characters, it's very good at broadcasting, like, the next story beats that are going to happen. I think is very enjoyable. Yarg, help! Hold on. Alright, give me a second. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one of the fights that if you just run past it, he comes up to you a little bit later and he's like, I say, Mario, that's not very sportsman of you, or something like that. I think if I do this, I don't think it's an issue. Okay, good, yeah. You'll see right now, the spears are held in 2 different positions. One is when it's straight up, and one is when it's down flat. And they do actually have 2 different attacks based off of what position it's in. You can only jump on the when they have their thing flat, and you can only hammer them when they have their thing up. And the reason is, if you try to hammer this guy, when you approach him with the hammer, he'll stab you. So it's not fantastic to try to do that. This Shy Guy also has a way to summon another one. I think he does a little, like, a hula dance sort of thing. But there we go. He just decided to attack me instead, and now I have to jump on him. There we go. And that's taken care of. So yeah, almost every enemy in this area has ways of summoning more enemies to them. So if you're not careful enough, the enemy fights can end up becoming quite a bit more difficult than you thought they were going to be, because they keep on just bringing in more and more people. Thankfully, with so many defensive badges right now, that's not too much of an issue for us, but still. Let's press on while the spirits are high, eh? This tree will end up becoming sort of important later. There we go, Colorado.
Ah, Mario, have a look at this. Looks like the entrance to the volcano, eh, old boy? Somewhere in that volcano are the treasures I'm looking for. I know it. The secrets of an ancient civilization, and yet I can't find a way in. Bit of a sticky wicket, But I shall not give up. A good explorer never stops gathering information. Let's go back to the village to look for clues. There must be a way in there. There simply must. Tally-ho!
This is the main reason I like this guy. Colorado is just, ugh, stop it! For the third time, it looks like he's in danger, but no, this time,
Did you think I was beset by enemies again, old boy? Just a bit of a joke. Explorers must have a sense of humor, don't you know? At any rate, let's move on.
It's just, the guy is so wacky. I just love him. I think it's just so much fun. You'll notice the music has changed to be a lot more frantic now. And all these guys are freaking out. If we go talk to any of them, the kids are gone. The only place they could have gone is the jungle. I had a feeling they were up to something lately, but I didn't think it was I thought it was just mischief. I didn't think they'd go into such a dangerous area. What will we do? How will we find them? Oh, such ill fortune. The children are missing. They seem to have secretly slipped off into the jungle. They don't know its dangers. Oh, they don't know its dangers. I thought it was apostrophe S on the it's. So, like, they don't know it is dangerous. And I was like, they don't know it is dangers? But, okay, it's possessive. They don't know its dangers. They don't know the dangers of the jungle. We must get them back here to safety. Mario, could I ask you to look for these lost children? As you can see, the Yoshis of my village are panicking. They aren't thinking straight. I'll try to calm them down. You just find those kids. Yep. So that is our goal right now. We have to find 5 Yoshi kids hidden throughout the map of the jungle to the north. And this is also how we're going to discover a little bit more of what's going on. I think this is one of the enemies, right? Yep. So you can see some of the helpful plants are actually enemies. Hurt plants, yeah. They have the ability to poison you, I think. So we'll want to avoid fights with them in the future. We're not going to often trigger these plants. I just wanted to show you that the whole jungle is kind of vicious and dangerous against us right now. Yeah, see, I forgot how long it takes before it attacks us. But doing just 1 damage and then 1 damage of poisoning right now, honestly not too bad overall. So that should end up defeating these plants here. And we'll just move on with our day. All right. Yes, but every chance that I can have to fight with the bush monsters, I'm going to do that. Because these guys up here, like I said, they give us quite a bit of experience, and as long as we're using our defenses right, we don't ever have to worry about damage. So that'll be 1 down after this. Yeah, I know that I normally try to avoid doing a lot of what is it? Farming, that's what it is. I try to avoid doing a lot of farming on stream, where it's just like getting a bunch of experience or a bunch of materials or stuff like that, because I know it's not as interesting to watch. But this is one of the exceptions in my mind. Rowan says, that boo is so cute. Yeah, that's Lady Bow, or Lady Bo. I've never known what it's supposed to be. I normally call her Lady Bo, or just Bo, but I mean, you can see it's Bo or Bow, and I don't technically know what it is. At the very least, it's probably not Boo. Get back here this instant, you little ingrates! Hey, you down there, look up here if you can hear me. You can see the cheap sushi, the cheap sushi, that's a tongue twister if I've ever heard one, is saying, this is so embarrassing, I'm stuck in this tree, can you help me out? Here we go. Just keep on hitting it, and she falls further and further down the tree. Try harder. There we go. Oh, phew, I'm saved. I feel like one big ache. Thanks for getting me out of that tree. I think I'll be okay now. Oh, I was chasing those naughty little Yoshi boys and I fell into their trap. Don't they know how dangerous it is to go into the jungle? I have to find them before they get in too deep. As for you, you'd better get back to the village too. It's dangerous out here. Why on earth did you come into the jungle anyway? Well, so you're looking for those little rascals as well. Then I don't see why we don't just look for them together. They really don't understand the dangers of the jungle, so we have to find them soon. How impolite, I haven't even asked your name. What is it, pray tell? Mario, huh? Well, I've never heard of you before. You must be from far away or something. Enjoy lovely LavaLava Island. That's what I'd usually say to a visitor anyway, but first, could you help me find those boys? So Sushi is our next partner. Sushi is pretty good in certain circumstances. They're one of the few characters that have an elemental attack beyond Watt. So their attacks are with water, which means if we're fighting fire enemies, and we use I believe their ability is called Squirt, that will go ahead and just send out a gout of water, like hydro pump sort of at them. Yeah. It's probably supposed to be bow, like a hair bow. I agree. But yeah, so Sushi allows us to do kind of some fun stuff here. It's just one of the like unique ways of traveling around in this game. They end up redoing a way of it in the sequel game, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door, without the need of a partner for it. But I quite like it. So we can swim around on these water areas now because we have this cheap sushi on our side. It's always important to get the letters, even if I refuse to deliver them. Because that way, if I see a badge that I really want, I can decide later to get it. So this bulb over here would give us a seed, except right now it's not ready yet. So you can even see, yo, what's up? Thanks for waking me up. This island's so nice, isn't it? It's the perfect temperature for napping. Perfect temperature. Oh, perfect place because it's the perfect temperature. I'm a bubble, fill the world with flowers. I want you to take the seed. And that's what every creature up to this point that is a bubble has said to us. And we've gotten 3 of them so far. Or rather, that's what I want to say to you. Unfortunately, the seed isn't quite ready yet. Don't worry though, it'll be ready anytime now. Waiting in such a warm, comfy place can't be all bad, right? Come grab the seed later. I'm pretty generous, so I'll be here giving stuff to people. So, this is the game's way of making sure that we don't go to the next world before we have finished this one. Because the next world, all we need to have are 4 seeds, 4 flower seeds. So this one here is stated as not ready yet in order to make sure that we actually finish what we need to here before trying to move on. Okay, I was just making sure that I wasn't missing anything here. So now that we have Sushi, we can go ahead and go to a few more places on the map. Because we can, anytime that we just see one of these piers like this, we can use Sushi and jump off of them. Yeah, in the next game, it's an ability that Mario gets that turns them into a boat to sail across the waters. It's also received in an island level just like this. So there's a lot of things they do in the sequel game that mirror the pacing of this game, which I think is just enjoyable. So here's what Sushi does. Sushi is very much like the hammer attack. I hold it left and then release, and then they hop up on top to attack. Right now they're just doing the 3 damage because we haven't upgraded Sushi yet. And I don't think that I'm going to bother upgrading Sushi either right now. I might upgrade them right before the boss fight, but I am just about to get, if I remember the way that this works correctly, I'm about to get an item that lets me have a second power-up on the creatures, which is going to be much, much more effective at helping me than this is. I'm going to put Bow back on. Bow is one of my favorite ones to have just because they're so powerful. They do 5 damage as long as the guy doesn't have any defenses. I'm in my room. Nice. That's one of the fun things about the Switch, isn't it? The fact that it really can go anywhere. I know that was one of the selling points of it when it was released, and it's still one that they definitely like amp up in each commercial, right? You can see they'll normally sit down in front of a TV and then pick it up and move somewhere else. Like, I get that that's, very much baked into the commercializing of it right now. Hey, Shem. But it is still wild that portability of like a whole gaming console is so possible, especially when the Nintendo Switch has so many like really good and interesting games on it. Shem got a new headset. That's pretty fun. Oh, Power Quake. That's the stronger version of patch I really like. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty fun. So this headset that I got This is from my brother, and it's a very good. It's supposed to be for like studio music. So it's like if you're mixing music or recording music, this is the sort of headset you'd want for that. It's a DT770 Pro. Very good. I like it quite a bit. It's one of the best like sound monitoring devices I've ever had. The only thing that I don't wear it for is the fact that because it's so big and bulky, it messes up my hair when I'm on stream. So I normally only wear it during things where it's like I'm playing a newer game and the sound quality of it is really good and I want to be constantly having that sound quality on. Yeah, man, I love it when I can hear something in such a clear way that really shows like how much work the sound design people put into a game like this. Anyway, we're gonna use Sushi to get off of this little area. You can see up there, if you look up in the top, up sleeping in that tree is the purple Yoshi. So I believe that's our first guy that we're gonna save here. Maybe not. No, it looks like not. I forgot that we need to come in from the northern side. So we can see this guy, but we can't rescue him yet. I think he's actually one of the last ones I save in the route that I normally take for this. You may recognize this area. I believe this is the area that we just were, that I showed you was kind of the secret route that we could take. Oh, we can hear one of the Yoshis crying. See, this is the area where if I go down, you can see we're right back by the whale again. And it always reminds us this. Would you do Fall Guys again? I probably would do Fall Guys again. I will say I won't be very good at Fall Guys again. I'll be probably just as good as I was at Fall Guys. But Fall Guys is one of the games that I definitely don't mind too much. It's... Oh, dang it. Okay, I forgot that this was going to be a group fight, that I was going to have Cooper out for. Whatever. Anyway, Fall Guys is kind of in a fun scenario where... the fact that you can jump into the new games and play like a variety of mini games fairly easily and fairly quickly, I really like that. That's a very fun little game mechanic. It's kind of like Mario Party mini games, but only the mini games. Only the mini games? Only the mini games in the video game. Gosh. So that's why I really like it. Dear goodness, I'm losing a lot more health than I really should. Tell you what, I'm going to use Starstorm again, and the reason I'm going to do that is simply because I think that it's faster to clear these guys out now with this move and just go back to the village to heal myself. Yeah. If in a perfect world, it would be that I'm really close to leveling up right now and I would just go through one or two more fights. Anywho. All right. So here we can see the red Yoshi that I wasn't able to find before. Oh, that was so scary. We're playing hide and seek, and then a weird plant trapped me here. Sushi was right. We should have just stayed inside the village to play hide and seek. We should have obeyed her. Thanks for coming to get me. I'm going home now. That's part of the reason why I'm going to go back, is to show you all kind of their reaction to everyone freaking out around them. Because it's different dialogue that I think it's just kind of fun to do that sort of thing. So yeah. Fall Guys is definitely a game that I wouldn't say no to playing again. Fortnite is a game I would say no to playing again. I'm sorry. Fortnite was not good for me. I'm not good at Fortnite. Fortnite is not good for me. It's just a bad scenario altogether. We should just separate on the terms of we're not meant for each other. But yeah, Fall Guys is a fun game. I could see playing that again on stream. I know that the more difficult thing about that is people generally want to play Fall Guys with the streamers. And you can't really, unless you're inviting people into the same lobby, I'm pretty sure there's not an easy way to have a Fall Guy lobby with like people that you want to play with. I don't think that there's like privatized lobbies or anything like that for the game. I might be wrong, but yeah. It's really fun to look back on my old streams because one of the things I really do believe as a streamer is that I should constantly be going back through the stuff that I've just made and seeing what works, what doesn't, you know? What sort of things of preparation should I do to make the future streams a little more smooth? Is there anything that I need to go back and correct about streams? Stuff like that. It's always good to be evaluating your own content. That's especially true for movies and for videos that you would make on a platform like this, and also true for even the longer streams. So I normally set my streams at like 2 times the speed and listen to them. I normally set them at 2 times the speed because that's as fast as it'll go on my phone. If I was able to watch it on my PC, then I would be then I'd be watching it at like 3 or 3.5 times the speed. Gosh dang it, I forgot that these guys clone. I always forget that these things can clone. Yeah, so I've been, lately I was going back and watching some of the streams that I was thinking, you know, that I've just done like a one-off of, right? So you may have noticed, oh my goodness, is this just gonna happen forever? Hopefully not. You may have noticed that I separate my streams out into playlists. So like if you were to actually click my my avatar name down at the bottom and it would pop up the, you know, Mr. Multimedia page, you would see that I let you pick between videos or playlists there that are happening. And if you click playlists, you can see like assortments of the games I've played, right? I just go ahead and categorize ahead of time, like, oh, here's all of my Paper Mario streams, here's all my Minecraft streams, here's all my, you know, all 2 of my Luigi's Mansion streams, stuff like that. But there are a couple of games that I've only really done like a one-off of that I haven't played again, and that don't have their own like playlist page, their own stream sort of thing to it. So I've been watching through some of those lately and going, which of these would I like to play? You know, should I be potentially making should I be making a miscellaneous playlist where I play through all of these miscellaneous games, or should I not? You know, things like that. Like, it's important to be constantly looking at everything you've made and thinking what works, what doesn't, do I need to change something or not? So I've been watching those single videos by themselves. Some of them are kind of funny to watch myself play. Like, watching myself play Phasmophobia again was a bit weird. Because there's just something so different about the vibe that happens, like, when you're watching a scary game versus when you're playing a scary game. And I don't know why it is that way, but it really is. Like, if you're just watching someone play a scary game over their shoulder, or if you're watching them play it on a stream, very rarely are you actually gonna get startled or confused by it, or panic at all from what you're hearing. Yeah, because there's something about just like being an audience of it rather than something that's progressing it yourself. You'll notice right now, this red Yoshi, it would have been panicking before, but the fact that we have found the kid red Yoshi means they're now relieved. My son is back. Oh, I'm so relieved. I was really starting to worry. Please, Mario, find the other lost children, okay? So the moment that their children are found, they're calm again, but until that point, they're freaking out. Especially now that I've brought back news that they were trying to play hide and go seek. So he's probably sleeping in a tree somewhere if I know my son. Please find my son next. I mean, I know where they are, but I can't easily get to them. Colorado is also saying, I swear, all these natives are so panicky that we can't get any information. I guess someone had better solve their problem so we can quiz them, eh, old boy? Also, kind of a fun little thing to notice. Caw. A bunch of, oh my goodness, what are their names? I forget what these guys' names are. They're like ravens of some kind, but they have a funny name. Caw. Oracle of the Stars. Mario comes to this island. Mario is fated to meet Master Raphael the Raven. Caw. Caw? Are you the Mario that Master Raphael the Raven was telling us about? So yeah, we're gonna be meeting this Raphael the Raven later on. Legitimately, I didn't know that 2 of those people say something. Like, if you'd asked me, like, before I went to go talk to them, do the ravens say anything? I would have said, nah, they all say caw in, like, funny ways. This is kind of a fun little thing. The fact that it's like, the whole village is panicking, the music is kind of chaotic, and Mario decides to take a nap. And the music restarts, as though to remind you, why did you do that? There are children lost in the forest. Let me see, should I keep on getting items that I need to throw away, so let's try selling an item or 2, just so that isn't the issue anymore. Welcome to Yoshi's Cabana. What would we like to sell? I'm thinking one of these Volt Mushrooms first, and then I think I want to sell something else as well. Maybe not. Let's just sell the egg. I know I've been keeping the egg, but I don't really need it. You know what? I'm gonna sell the other Volt Mushroom because I don't use those items. Like, they're good. The Volt Mushroom turns Paper Mario into like, it has a bunch of electricity coming off of them. They're very electric. So if anyone tries to, like, let's say it's a Goomba, tries to jump on their head, Mario, I don't think takes any damage in that circumstance, and it's only the Goomba that gets hurt. Oh wait, I wanted to talk to the red Yoshi and show you what they say. We just wanted to go somewhere exciting, where there were no grown-ups and where we could do whatever we wanted, see? I mean, so we went into the jungle and all, but it was scary, and there were bad guys, and I got tired. I'll be good for now. I'm sorry if people worried. I'm glad you found me. Yep. It's weird saying that paper, like, gets an electric shock. Like, that's kind of... You don't really think of paper as, like, conducting electricity. Normally it's a kind of a resistor of all of that, but it is what it is. It's a game, right? You have to kind of just accept that not all of the mechanics of the game are going to perfectly make sense. Like, this is a piece of paper going underwater, but we're fine. So it's kind of nice that, for the sake of the story, sometimes it just kind of glosses over some inconsistencies. Okay, I'm going to get Bo back in my team here. There we go. All right. Yeah. It is, I do like it. I realize that some people call out those sort of things as like, oh, it's a huge plot hole, right? But I do think it's important to realize when in a story it's a plot hole and when it's just annoying to have it be too realistic, right? Like, there are definitely times where, like, I'll be watching a movie or something, and I'll look at it and go, well, that doesn't make sense. Why didn't they just X, Y, Z, right? It's like, oh, why didn't, I'm gonna say a really overblown popular one that's probably gonna get me in trouble with some people watching the stream. It's like, oh, why didn't, in Lord of the Rings, why didn't they just take the eagles all the way to the volcano, all the way to Mount Doom to throw in the ring, right? Like, if you're looking for plot holes in most types of media, you can find them, right? Like, almost no story is perfect. There's gonna be a question of like, well, couldn't they have just instead, and it will have been a better answer, right? That's almost always the case. The question is the story good enough to make you not care that there are mistakes in it? I'm gonna go ahead and upload sushi. Anyway. If the story is good enough that you don't care that there are plot holes in it, then it doesn't matter that there were plot holes. If it told the story that it needed to, it's done its job. It's a very similar quote. There's a oh my goodness, I'm trying to think. It's a collection of stories technically. I want to say it's called The Things They Carried. I might be wrong about that. There's a collection of short stories that was written about people in the Vietnam War. I realize that this is getting a lot more serious, but I'm not going to go into too much detail about what the book itself was. In fact, it was required reading when I was in high school, so I really hope it's still required reading for high schools nowadays. It's a good book, but the way that The Things They Carried go, there's because it's a bunch of like short stories that some of them are true and some of them aren't. So some of them are nonfiction and some of them are fiction, and it doesn't tell you which is which. So some of them it's like legitimately this happened, this is a part of history, and some of them it's this is real enough to have happened, but it didn't happen, but it still potentially informed you, and you still had a reaction to reading it. And one of the short stories in that book, it even calls this out and says, listen, some of the stories that I tell here, some of the stories that I've published, people ask me, oh, is this like so-and-so? I think I know the person that was involved in this. And the author goes and says outright, not every story that I tell is true. What matters in this case isn't the truth of it. It's, did it inspire an emotion in you? Did it give you a reaction to the material that the story intended for you to experience? And did that reaction make you think and hopefully become a better person because of it? Right? Did you evaluate your life? Did you evaluate your like automatic reactions of things based off of what was read? If you are experiencing a connection to a story, regardless of whether the story is based in fiction or based in nonfiction, that story becomes truth. It is in some way true, even if it never happened. because it made a change in you that you needed. And that's kind of how I approach storytelling nowadays, because of that simple short chapter within the things they carried. It's such a I don't want to say a simple topic, because the more you think about it, it gets kind of like very philosophical, very much like, you know, old wise man on the mountain sort of thing, where it's like, oh, how many steps must you walk in the in the shoes of another man to really understand them? That sort of stuff. Like, it can get really philosophical really quickly. But the idea of just like, listen, not every story that you're going to be told in life is true. Some of them are going to be exaggerated. Some of them are going to be unbelievable. And some of them are going to be not even proposed to you as something that's true, right? Some of them are just going to be stories told for fun. Some of them are going to be stories told as a way of entertaining you. And the question then isn't how true is the story in those instances, or how believable is the story. The question is, did it make you feel a certain way? Did it make you consider people around you, or the way that the world operates around you, in a way that you hadn't thought about before? And if so, congratulations, that's a good story. So yeah, that's the way I try to look at stories nowadays. It makes me a lot more accepting of media that some people say is just like bad. It's like, oh, that didn't make sense at all. Oh, that wasn't a very good story at all because it was so unbelievable. They should have just done this and the whole issue would have been done, or they should have just talked. If any of the characters had talked, the whole story would have been over, right? And while I can definitely see those plot holes, especially in like romance novels, let's be honest, romance novels, most romance novels, if you're reading them, most of their plot can be simplified as like person meets person, they start to get closer together, they think they're gonna be together, a misunderstanding breaks out, and the two of them refuse to talk to each other about it. But by the end, they realize the error of their ways and get back together again. Like, that's the plot of most romantic sort of things, romantic comedies especially, right? And sometimes they just do feel like you're just diving in a dumpster full of burning trash because it's just so simple a plot line. But that's when you need to kind of take in that philosophy there of, did it inspire an emotion in you? Did it make you feel a certain way? Did it expand your horizons? Did you start to think about people in your own life in a little bit different of a light, a little more forgiving of a light, or a little more critical of a light in some cases? Have you been too accepting of someone that shouldn't be in your life? If so, congratulations, that story is good and it is true for what you needed to hear at that time. I just think it's so good. It's so interesting of a way of interacting with stories. I just love having that kind of better outlook on things, in my opinion. I don't know. It is kind of cheesy, I'll admit. It's kind of cheesy to say, like, that almost every story can be a good story. As long as it's, like, making you have a reaction to it. But it's the way that I think makes a lot more sense for me to engage in media nowadays. Okay. Alright, that's what I got. I got badge up. Okay. What should I apply here? I have the spike shield on right now. Forgot that. I'm gonna apply the ice. No, I'm just gonna have 5 right now. I'll take off the shrink stomp and just give myself a quick change badge. Oh, then I still have 2 more. I'll put on ice power just so I don't forget. Yeah. Alright. I have a thing for sushi down over here, but I don't... Oh, that would lead up to the purple... You know what? Yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. We'll go down here right now. Yeah. I hope that you know, that whole kind of tirade or rant... I don't think it was really a rant, but you know what I mean. The whole explanation of stories and how positively can be changed by them, and how at that point, congratulations is a good story. I hope that that's not too weird of a thing to be hearing during a stream. I kind of like hearing, whenever I watch streams, I like getting a little bit of an insight to what the person is like on the other side, right? I think that those are the best kind of streamers, in my opinion. The ones that that talk very openly and honestly, rather than just like hyping up their reaction to make, you know, like kind of clickbait content, or make content that's going to more easily be put into a video, right? There's something about just having honesty in how you're communicating with your stream and with the people that are, you know, spending time to tune in and watch you and try to get some entertainment from you. There's something about the genuineness of that kind of interaction that I think makes streaming really alluring for me. But I know that is, you know, not every streamer is like that. And so for a lot of people, if they haven't ever experienced a stream like that, it feels kind of weird, where it's like the person feels like they're trying to have a conversation with me. Do I actually want to talk to this guy? You know, do I want to be a recipient of this conversation? So sometimes that's, it throws people for a little bit of a loop. So I hope that didn't feel a little too out of the blue for you guys. All right, we finally found another one of the Yoshis. And just like they thought, yep, they were just sleeping up in a tree. So we still have to get 3 more of the Yoshi Companions, I believe. I forgot that little thing. I'm gonna make myself a little bit of a shortcut here. You see the little stump right over here. Now we can go ahead and turn that into a bridge that goes back towards this sort of very first place that we were at over here. Ta-da! Is the purple Yoshi? Yes, he is. He's right over here. I got scolded really bad. Everyone was really worried about me. I came back all right, so what's the big deal? I had to promise I wouldn't do anything dangerous again. Hey, but thanks for coming and finding me. Let's see what their parent says, since they were just right here as well. Aw, Mario, thank you. I can't tell you how relieved I felt when I saw my son's face. I shouldn't say that so loud. There are still kids out there lost in the jungle. Please, you have to find them. I hope they aren't somewhere scary, alone and afraid. Yeah. But slowly, you know, slowly but surely, we're calming down the village, so this is pretty good. I think I'm missing a few HP. We'll go ahead and take a nap here anyway. We're already here. Yeah. By the way, I found out, let me quickly open up my Stream Elements tab before I forget this. I found out, I think, part of the reason why it wasn't showing certain subscriber alerts on my stream. So you know how I'd mentioned that, like, the coin that I made, you know, to kind of slowly twirl whenever I get a subscriber? I had mentioned that, that it wasn't displaying those all the time. So I figured out that it was kind of 2 things at fault. One, it was that the program that I had like a weird, outdated kind of connection to the subscription service of YouTube. So like it wasn't able to read all the incoming names anyway. So that was one big thing that I went and I fixed and I got that done. However, even now, I've been warned by the people that run Stream Elements that one of the... Oh, I see Santiago is now playing Super Mario 64. They are on the same game disc as Super Mario Sunshine, so that's kind of fun. Oh, I was trying to jump on the yellow fuzzy, not activate this guy. Whatever. Anywho. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was warned by some of the developers of Stream Elements that another thing that happens is the default for YouTube, unless you go and change it, for many people, the default is within their settings, it says, do not make my subscriptions public. So it's like other people, the streamers specifically, can't see who exactly subscribed to them. And that's just a default setting in YouTube. Unless someone's gone and turned that off to make it so that that their subscription can be seen to streamers, they won't be seen, which is wild for me. Like, I didn't even know that was a default setting, but apparently it is. Yeah. Apparently, if you made your YouTube account long enough ago, I think that it's kind of the other way around, where it's like the default is actually that it's turned on, and so that's why like audiences that are generally a little bit older that have had their stream running for not stream, but that have had their YouTube accounts running for a while, that's why it will still show them. So some of the adult viewers of my channel, like I've been able to see them. Oh gosh, I wasn't preparing for this attack. Whew. Hey, bite-sized glitches. I really like that name. That's a really fun username, bite-sized glitches. That's a fun one to reference, but hello. Seeing as I don't think I've seen your name before, that must mean you're a new subscriber. That once again, like it's not displaying a little thing for me, so I'll go ahead and say this. Welcome. Welcome to the chat. If you've been here before, I'm so sorry if I've forgotten your name. But I think I would have remembered something like bite-sized glitches before. Yeah, you are new. Okay, so I'm not too crazy. If you don't mind my asking, did you find this stream because it was just like proposed on the main page, or did you find it because you were like just searching Mario or something like that? I mostly ask because the stream analytics that I pull up after the stream, they always kind of like for each video, it seems there's a different thing that brought people in. Sometimes it's like someone was also streaming a game like this, and so it brought people in from there. And sometimes it's just, yeah, like it popped up after another video. So, oh goodness, I got poisoned. Yeah, so I'm always trying to figure out from my live viewers kind of like how in the world they got here. Also because I'm running a broadcasting class. Oh, you were searching through Mario streams. Okay, that makes sense. That seems to be why it is that most of the people for this particular series, for the Paper Mario series, have found it. It's people that have searched Mario and people that have searched Paper Mario as stream categories have found this and have like popped in and said hello or watched for a little bit. But it's definitely it's definitely still a new experience for me to have people joining my stream that aren't my students. Just in case people out there that are now watching the stream, because we actually have like a fair number of people that keep on bouncing in and out of the stream. We've had, it looks like 30 unique viewers right now. You know, not all of them have talked in the chat, but that totally makes sense. But with those unique viewers, there have to be at least a few that don't know my story, so I'll go ahead and very quickly sum it up. So I'm a multimedia teacher, and part of the reason why I'm streaming nowadays is to be able to learn a little bit more about it, see how it works, gather some footage for my broadcasting class that I hope to have starting up in just a little bit. So that's kind of my goal there, is to become a lot more aware of all how all this works and things like that. So when the summer first started, yeah, it is pretty cool. I'm a middle school teacher, so I teach people from like ages 11 to 14, which definitely is not a lot of people when they were 11 to 14 have had a chance to have a teacher that streams before. So when I started this at the time of last... Hello? We're just calling each other Mr. M here, though, right now. I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to remove that message real quick. There we go. You're not in trouble. Yeah, it's Mr. M here. Thank you. You're not in trouble at all. I'm not going to freak out and be like, ban that person from the chat. But it is important that we keep a little bit of privacy here. But, I mean, like you can see, with just that expression right there. Hey, hey, there's more people. Hello. Yeah, so I have a lot of students that found out about my stream, mostly because I told them about it towards the end of the summer. And so that was the bulk of my audience when we first began. So that was like the first 30, 35 so people subscribed to my channel were all of my students. So it's a little weird still, the idea of like people from all over the world are running into my content and actually like subscribing and saying hello and sticking around. When are you gonna stream the SMP? Because some lore is happening soon. Oh, that's right, yeah. So, I'd heard that the two of you were creating a little bit of lore for it. I'm planning on, I'm going to jump into it tomorrow, off of stream, and then engage with some of it, quickly look around and see like, okay, you know, kind of do like an editor's check, if you will. I totally trust what you guys have done, but I'd also like to be at least a little bit aware of what some of it is before we start. So I'm gonna get on and I'm going to look at it a little bit then. Then I will probably stream tomorrow and have kind of like the final preparations for our beating the SMP on Tuesday. So I'm hoping to stream it tomorrow. I just didn't play it today, and if you rewind back to the beginning of the stream, oh, my Discord has some clues. Interesting. If you rewind back to the beginning of this stream, you'll see why I didn't end up playing today. It's because I'd been trying all today to find something that I'd need to make my house, and I just could not find it. And it frustrated me so much that I was like, you know what, I need to step away from this game before I get, you know, really unfairly mad, before I just like decide to quit the SMP altogether or anything like that. I'm exaggerating a little bit. I wouldn't actually do that. But you know, it's you do kind of run into some frustrations whenever you hit like a brick wall, whenever you're doing everything right and just nothing is working your way. So since I spent all of today trying to get something to work that never came to fruition, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a break and stream like a really fun game for me today. Yeah, so I have an SMP running. It is going to be closed after tomorrow though, because I realized if I'm still streaming that SMP, if I still have it open when school starts, we're all of a sudden gonna get a lot more people in there because all the students are gonna find out that it exists. And the SMP, because I'm using a free server hosting system, it can only hold 10 people at a time unless you pay for a lot more to it. And I don't want to pay more just to run an SMP that I'm bad at. So I'm gonna go ahead and like we're gonna go through the final things of it on Tuesday, tomorrow, and close it down. But hey, yeah, we're seeing a lot of people come into the chat today. That's really fun. Okay, here we go. Watt is gonna be out now to help us properly find this next character. There we go. There was this flower that spun around, and I thought it was way cool, so I got on it, and then I spun around and around, and then I was up in the air and flying, and then I ended up here. I didn't know how I got here. It was so dark and scary. I couldn't find a way out. Thanks for coming to get me. I'm gonna go straight home. Tuesday's in 2 days. Yes, so I'm going to play tomorrow. Oh, thank you for saying I seem like a cool teacher. I really do try to connect with my students a little bit more, rather than just seeing them as like, okay, you are someone that I have to endure for today. But yeah, so I know that Tuesday is in 2 days from now. I still plan to stream tomorrow and play a little bit more in the SMP, specifically like getting ready for the final battle for the end that will be happening on Tuesday. So I'll be streaming tomorrow, the SMP, and then I'll also stream on Tuesday. Okay, this makes me want to 100% Mario Kart 8. Ooh, that's super fun. I was considering playing Mario Kart on this stream a couple of times, but one of the things that I'm facing as a little bit of an issue, unfortunately, is oh wait, hold on, before I rescue that guy. One of the things that I'm facing as a little bit of an issue whenever I'm playing Nintendo Switch games on this is the capture card that I have. It's specifically made to have 2 out channels. What that means is, normally whenever you play your Switch, whenever you have it like streaming to your TV, normally you just use one HDMI cable, you plug it into the Switch dock, and you plug the other end into the TV, and you get to watch the HDMI channel, and it plays the game, and it runs perfectly, and it's good. And that's great. Unfortunately, whenever you want to capture a setup here on your computer, you have to use something called a capture card. What a capture card does is it's depending on the capture card you get, some of them are like big brick devices, and some of them are just like really small little rectangular setups. Mine's a little small rectangular setup. It has one HDMI cord that takes the place of your TV, right? So it's like you have the HDMI port going from the dock over to the capture card, and then it has 2 outs, 2 places for HDMI cords to go. One that goes to your computer so that you can stream on your computer here, And then the other side goes over towards your TV again. The reason is, if I try to play a game just on stream, it's always going to be lagging just the littlest bit, to the point where, like, it will greatly change gameplay. Because, oh, there we go. We got all the Yoshis. Woo! It will greatly change gameplay because it will be, like half a second delayed or something like that. And that's a game changer. Like, anyone can say, if you're trying to play a game where the controllers are out of sync with the actual game itself, it is so annoying. It's such a frustrating experience, because some ways you can kind of work around it on some game experiences. Mario Kart 8 is not really one of those games, because you need to react to it. Yeah, if you have like a half-second delay on a game, it's not good. So yeah, I'm trying to find a way around that, because technically the way around it is, well, just if you have the setup going to the computer and then the other setup going to the TV version is the one that is playing on time correctly. Dude, you're teaching me stuff right now, and I ain't even a student. I'm a graduate, by the way. Well, that's super fun. Well, Mr. Multimedia can be a little bit of a teacher to everyone, I guess. Honestly, like it is my passion helping people just like learn small little tidbits and things like that. Even if they don't ever end up like actually being used in life. I just love like helping people learn like how I think of information and kind of retain it. Really, you didn't know some of that. It's something that you always have to consider. You know, there are so many parts of life that we kind of just take for granted that it's just like, oh, it just works. Like someone takes care of that and it works. And it's wild when we start to look at some of those different things a little more closely. It's always a fun learning experience, which I know that sounds very teacher-esque. We should always be trying to learn. but really, like, there are so many different things that make up the life experiences of other people. Like different jobs that have weird requirements or weird things that they do that we just don't learn about unless we know someone connected to that. So I try to always be in a position to learn a little bit more about some things like that. Yeah, so the SMP will stop when school starts, correct? So I'm planning on potentially leaving it up still Wednesday, even after we finish it on Tuesday, just so everyone can kind of, finish saying their goodbyes and doing, taking screenshots wherever they want and finishing up their builds. But after that point, I plan on closing the server so that I don't have to worry too much about people from school coming on and potentially trolling it. Yeah. But when it comes to playing the Switch on stream, the answer is the capture card. The reason it has 2 outs is because one of them is supposed to go to the computer to stream, and the other one goes to a TV. And on the TV, it's going to be playing properly. I just don't have a place really in here where a TV works. I'm in front of 3 monitors right now, so if I ever do it, it would likely be that I place it on my 3rd monitor. The question from Bite-Sized Glitches is, will you still stream Mario after your school year starts? Yeah, I'm still planning on streaming during the school year. Now, the thing is, I might need to change my schedule a little bit. The reason is because currently I stream 5 days a week. So I only don't stream normally Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday I don't stream. So yeah, every other day it's from 7 to 9 Central Standard Time, which is basically 1 hour ago to 1 hour from now is when I normally stream. But that's gonna have to change a little bit when the school year happens, simply because I'm gonna have less time, because I'm going to also be, I'm gonna be teaching, I'm gonna have different assignments children have given me that I need to grade, I'll need to be putting together, I have this year, they made my class. Normally I teach 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. So last year was my first year being a multimedia teacher, and I made my own class. The principal came up to me when I was a math teacher and said, hey, our current multimedia class is not very good. It's not set up in a way that I, as the new principal, want it to be set up. I want there to be things where it's like, we're doing broadcasting, we're having the kids like go to the football games or to the soccer games or to the baseball games of our schools, and they're actually going and like being announcers on the field or making like promotional videos about it and stuff like that. Like, I want this to feel like a class where it leads into the stuff that the high school does a lot more easily. No school in our school district has really been doing something like that. One of the other middle schools has, so I've been in close communication with them. But other than that, no one's had a class set up that way. So he said, can you make this class for me and be the teacher of it? You know, it'll probably be pretty rough the first couple years, but I want you to be in charge of it. So I took up that job and I did that, and it was really fun for me. And I did it last year, and a number of the students that you're seeing here are people that had me as their teacher or that had me as their esports coach, because I also created an esports program for our school, which was wild. And we did really well, really well. We became the state champions of Rocket League for our state, and that I feel very proud about that. I didn't have much to do with it, I will admit. I just had really, really talented players that put in the work and did their part to bring us to victory, but I was there. I helped organize it. So, but yeah, so like I did a lot of really cool things this first new year. And after this first year of making the multimedia class, the principal came up to me and said, I unfortunately did too good of a job. The teacher said, not the teacher, the principal said, this class is so good, I want every 6th grader to have to take this class. I want it to be a part of the elective rotation. So we have a thing in our school called elective rotation where for 6 weeks, for 6-week periods of time, the 6th graders go through almost all the different elective classes. So it's like you get 6 weeks of drama and 6 weeks of art and 6 weeks of PE and 6 weeks of, you know, like all these different elective types. And so he wanted my class to be in that rotation so that every 6th grader would take this sort of thing. Why is this playing in the background making me play better? I don't know, but hey, take it, right? If you're playing a game better and 100%ing Mario Kart 8 and it's somehow getting better while playing this in the background, good. Maybe it's just my calming voice, your prior coach letting you know you can do it. Okay, we're gonna use this Jade statue out in the forest in order to find Raphael the Raven, who we talked a little bit about before. But yeah, so I have a whole new class that I need to create now for the 6th graders, which means I need a little more time as well to make sure that everything's going smoothly and that I can make like little changes that I need to down the road. So I'm gonna have to stream a little bit less, but hopefully not too much less. I'm hoping that it's gonna only be like I take 1 day out of my schedule. In a perfect world, I don't have to take any days. I adapt to it very quickly, and I'm like, you know what? Nah, we're good. We're great at this. We're a pro. Mr. Multimedia is great at teaching multimedia. And then I just stream like I normally do. But most likely, I'm gonna have to take at least one of those days and change it into a Mr. Multimedia prepare stuff for their class. Mr. M, you can't stop the SMP when school starts, please. Please don't stop the SMP during school. Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do for you. This is the trade-off. If this doesn't work for you, then I will just have to stop the SMP, okay? So it's basically this or nothing. Please don't stop it for school. I've worked and played so much. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'm willing to let the server still exist. I will not reset the server. I will not restart it. I will not make everyone's progress restarted. I mean, like you guys have said, you've put in a lot of work on it. I will not restart it, but I will also not stream it very frequently. It'll probably just be that like once or twice later in this school semester, I pop on and I'm like, you know, day 100 of the SMP. It's insane. What have they done without me? What's the lore of this world now? You know what I mean? If you want to be playing it together after school and you're fine with that, if you're fine with me not coming in and streaming there, I am fine with keeping it alive. Moderation of it, though, is going to have to be something that you guys take a little bit of ownership in, okay? If you're willing to take kind of the ownership of making sure that people behave on there, that it is something that I could pop in at any time on a stream and be proud of what you guys are doing there and what you guys are saying there, I'm fine with that. Okay. If you're asking good game or not about this is a very good game. I love this game. I love Paper Mario. It was very much, you know, I've said this before, but we have enough new people that it shouldn't feel too much like I've been just saying this over and over again. Paper Mario was quite a bit of my childhood. This game came out back in 2001, which is when I was like 5 years old. I have some very clear, vivid memories of my folks and all of my siblings sitting around this old CRTV playing this game, like rotating around who's playing when. It's so much fun. On Wednesday, could you attempt to stream some of the lore we made? I could maybe do that. After the dragon fight on Tuesday, I have other things. Unless the dragon fight, if the dragon fight on Tuesday ends at around like, you know, the half-hour mark or something like that, I could go through some of the lore stuff on Tuesday as well. I just need it to take under an hour, because I only have an hour to stream on Tuesdays, because, you know, I don't normally stream on Tuesdays, and I still have work on Tuesday. There we go. Okay, he turns into a normal Shy Guy from there. Anyway. Yeah. So, am I going to be at school on Tuesday? Yeah, teachers are already actually, at least for our area, teachers are already at school getting everything prepared. We're going through a bunch of training things. So, for example, on Tuesday, Thomas Foolery, the more formal version of shenanigans, Thomas Foolery. Anyway, yeah, so teachers are already, in our area, they're getting their training underway right now. So, like on Tuesday, for instance, I'm going to be doing professional development that day. That means I'm going to be going to the other multimedia teachers in our district, and I'm going to be talking with them a little bit about what I've prepared for this year, what went well last year, things like that. We'll kind of compare notes back and forth. We'll give suggestions to each other about things that we think will make the multimedia class easier to run, stuff like that. And then we'll go about our merry way. And that'll be Tuesday afternoon. Up until that point, though, it's a bunch of stuff that I'm doing for our school specifically. Training where they're like, okay, here's what our school is focusing on this year. Like, our school has the keyword relentless. So they're teaching us like different ways that they want us to show and embody relentlessness in our in our actions and stuff like that. So yeah, teachers are already going to school right now in our area, and they're constantly planning for what has to happen and what's up ahead. But the students don't start showing up until Thursday. So, yep. On Tuesday, I'm gonna go on tour for 7th grade. Oh wait, no way. Are you guys going to the school on Tuesday? That's interesting. If you go there in the afternoon, you won't see me there because, like I said, I'll be at a different middle school with all the multimedia teachers. But so basically, like copying someone else's homework, just changing it a tiny bit. Yeah, that's kind of what some teachers do. You know, obviously, for some content teachers, like for example, the math teachers. They are required by school district law to all be teaching most of the material at the same time. At least that's what's required. Whether they do it that way or not is a different story. That's a whole different set of complaints I could have. When I was a 6th grade math teacher, I had some frustrations. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, ignoring that. But yeah, so it's, we do what is called teacher collaboration. It's the idea of we want to make sure that all of our students are getting the best possible learning that they can get. And the best way to do that is talk about what works and what doesn't across the whole of our classes so far. Yeah, personally though, there's, like I mentioned, there's only one other multimedia teacher in our school district that teaches the same way that I do, that they teach a full semester class of multimedia. And even then, they only teach a 7th grade course and an 8th grade course. They don't have a 6-week 6th grade course or anything like that. Not that I know of, at least. So, you know, even though I say that I have peers in the district, there's only really one person that does stuff like me, and even then, I couldn't just say, hey, I'm just gonna take all your multimedia stuff and do that. It wouldn't work. It would definitely not work. So, yeah. I'm hoping to provide, most of the reason that I'm hoping to help out in the multimedia group this year is, I'm not gonna say their name because it would be doxing them, But for those of you that were in my esports class, no, I didn't have a class. Man, I would love to have an esports class. That'd be so cool, but no. For those of you that attended esports with me, the other guy teacher that was helping me out on some of those days, right? Helped us like organize the whole bus situation, figure that out, helped us actually like run the competitions smoothly by making sure that everyone was like being where they needed to be and like behaving with other people like that. Yep. So that teacher, they were a math teacher. That teacher has become, they thought they were just going to be the computer science teacher, but they're the computer science teacher and the multimedia teacher for another school in the district, which means they're going to be at the same meeting that I am, and they're going to be asking me questions. Hey, so multimedia, what did you do? How is it working? Can I do that too? Stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him again and helping him out. And the really good news is that he's trying to make an esports program at the new school he's at too. So I'm just so excited, like things are actually working across the area for us to get more and more collaboration. So cool. But yeah. Beyond that, oh yeah, it is totally fun. It's as much as some teachers complain about personal development, also called PD, personal development, as much as that is a very common thing for teachers to complain about, whenever we do it at a district level, and it's like, oh, go to every content teacher, every teacher that teaches the same content you teach, like all the math teachers stick with all the math teachers, all the science teachers stick with all the science teachers. Those ones are really fun for us elective teachers, because it's just like, all right, let's go talk with the other people that teach the same elective classes we do. Because normally we don't have anyone that teaches stuff the same way that we do at the school, right? It's a little bit different for PE, because PE generally has like 2 or 3 PE coaches or PE teachers, you know, different people that are involved in sports. So they kind of have a bunch of support there. And technically a lot of the arts support each other. So like band and orchestra, they all kind of talk with each other. They're in the same part of the school and stuff like that, right? But me as the multimedia teacher, I'm so far away from everyone. For those of you that go to our school, my class is not by anyone else's class. Like across the way from us, we have the counselors and the SPED department. Next to us, we have a spare classroom that's meant for SPED testing. Then on the other side of us, we have the cafeteria. Like there is no class that is next to mine really until you go like down the hall, around the corner, and you go talk to drama. Will I be streaming tomorrow? Yep, I still plan to stream tomorrow. Hold on, I need to get Cooper out for this. Anyway. I still plan to stream tomorrow, and I'm gonna be most likely streaming the SMP and showing us prepare for the fights that are happening. Yeah, so I'm planning on it being the SMP. The only reason it wouldn't be the SMP is if, and I doubt this will happen, the only reason it wouldn't be the SMP is if I come into the server and see all the lore that you guys have done, and I'm like, no, this is not appropriate for a stream. Shame on you, you know, stuff like that. I don't think that'll happen. But if that is the case, I want to be able to say, hey, you know, I think we need a little more work on this. Let me stream something else today. Or on the other side of this, if you guys have done a ton of really cool work on it, but you think you want to do 1 or 2 more things before it goes live on stream, that would also be a reason why I say, okay, because you guys think that a little more work could go into this, I'll go ahead and we won't stream the SMP today so that it can be really cool when we stream on Tuesday. But I'm planning on streaming tomorrow so we can go through some of the cool stuff that you guys have set up. And I plan for that to happen. Fingers crossed. The lore's not bad. There's some bloody parts, but I can get rid of it if you don't want that. If it's talking about violence, that's fine as long as it doesn't get too detailed. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between, and I'm trying to make this I'm trying to figure out a way to say this in a PG way. There's a difference between, you know, a fight explaining in this area a fight broke out or a war happened and several people ended up losing their lives. There's a difference between that and then going into like detail of exactly how a murder scene happened. Like the killer raised their knife and stabbed 17 times in the chest, right? Like that's a different thing. The 17 times in the chest, little too detailed. Talking about there having been violence in an area, fine, totally fine. You know what I mean? Like, and it is like blood eyes. Yeah, okay, yeah, if it's nothing like too detailed like that, then you guys are fine, and it'll be totally fine, right? I mean, even, you know, PG-13 movies, like whenever there's violence in them, they acknowledge that there's violence happening, they just don't show a lot of the really violent stuff on stream, you know what I mean? On stream. On screen, there we go. So as long as it's just like in that sort of realm, yeah, I think it's fine. Acknowledging that there's a lore of like dangerous things have happened here before, right? Or people have like lost their lives in this particular area. I mean, it's part of storytelling, as long as you guys are being respectful about it and not going too far. And I think I trust you guys, especially after I've given that little bit of direction there. I think I trust you guys that I can say with almost like 90% certainty, we're gonna be streaming the SMP tomorrow. Yep, so we'll stream the SMP tomorrow at our regular times, 7 to 9 Central Standard Time. Well, I guess I have to make sure to catch the stream tomorrow. Oh, well, that'll be fun. We'd be happy to have you, bite-sized glitches. But yeah, so we'll play that a little bit. A lot of the stream will probably be me, like, asking you all, okay, how can I best prepare for the fight tomorrow? Like, do I need to get, you know, do I need to get materials? Do I need to specifically go hunting for specific things in the nether? Stuff like that, you know? Stuff like that. If most of you have already gotten the materials, though, for us to beat the game, like if you've gotten a lot of blaze rods and made it so we get, like, eye of enders or whatever it is, great. Okay. Sorry, I now want to focus a little bit on the game that's happening here because we're about to hit, this is the end of the jungle content, and now we're going into the volcano content. So this is the part I really like. So we've gone to Raphael the Raven to ask, hey, do you have a way for us to get into the volcano? You can't find a way to reach the volcano, is that it? Yeah, that's a problem. Not for me though, I'll help. To be honest with you, I knew you'd ask something like that. I got a message from the stars, so I knew you were coming. I've got something exceptional to give you that ought to help you on your way, but that's for later. Right now, let's take care of the volcano problem, okay? Caw-caw! And he summons the other birds. I love how they fly. The fact that they don't have wings and they just waddle their feet, and that's enough. You can also see here, that very last one in line, it's very much, it's the same sort of running joke as the shy guy that falls over at the very end. Like there's always, whenever they have a league of creatures that are basically the same, they always make like one that struggles a little bit at the end. Anyway, excellent response time, Ravens. We've got work to do. I'll brief you only once, so I want your full attention. Be right back in 10 to 20 minutes. Cool. So they're all talking right now. He's giving them the lowdown. And it must be done just as quickly as possible. Got it? I should hope so. Let's move, Ravens. Follow me. Just leaps off the side. Yeet. Woo. So we're gonna do exactly the same thing. Rather than heading down the tree, we're just gonna fall all the way down this way. Boing, boing. There we go. Oh, I thought it was 2 jumps for sure. Anyway, here we go. Oof. Again, a little unrealistic that a tree root would be so springy as to make a gateway, but hey, you don't need to be super realistic in a game. If it makes you feel a certain way, if it tells a story a certain way that makes you enjoy it, congratulations, it's a good story. So this actually lets out right by the volcano. This is like right near the area that Colorado had been attacked by the shy guy, by the tribe guy or whatever. Aye, aye, all right, is everyone ready? Now, Ravens, get to work. Like I said, always one that struggles a little bit. Hits the bottom of a tree and falls down. This won't take long. What in blazes? Here's Colorado. Ka-ka-ka! Ta-da! Finished! Ka!
Roger that, you can reach the volcano now. Oh, top notch, really. It would appear we can enter the volcano, dear boy. What luck, Mario. I shan't delay another moment. The ancient treasures are calling me. Onward!
And he'll go on up, and so that lets us kind of see the whole thing in action. Super fun.
That Koopa, what a maverick, charging into the volcano. He's bold, I'll give him that.
Bold and certified, I believe, nuts. But enough about that. I want to give you that important item I was talking about. Here, take it. Yes. I did remember that this was here. This is the Ultra Stone. It allows you to ultra rank one of your party members. So all of our party members that we've been slowly leveling up, we can finally level one of them up again to a second level. And we can keep on doing that. So it's so good. It's one of the best parts about this game is the 2-tier kind of like evolution of your partners. It makes it very, very enjoyable to play through and to experience that power growth of your team. I am likely going to upgrade Bo again, because Bo is able to, instead of doing 5 damage, they'll do 6 damage with all their slaps. And not too many people in the upcoming area have defensive measures in place that would make Bo unable to help. I probably didn't need to actually rest up there, because I have 97 experience, and I only need 3 more experience then to level up. It's actually at the point where I kind of want to do that before going to the volcano. You've actually never played this. Oh, really? Bite-sized glitches. Yeah, this is, I mean, this game came out back in 2001. I know you said you've already graduated, so you've probably been technically old enough to have played this game when younger. But yeah, this came out on the N64. It was a really enjoyable game. It took a lot of the stuff that, if you've heard of the SNES game Super Mario RPG, it took a lot of the... Why in the world was I running away from those guys? I wanted to fight one of them to get more experience. Whatever. Anyway, it took a lot of the things that worked from that and put it in a fun, more accessible way for more American audiences to play. It was a lot less hard to figure out what to do next. It had much smaller numbers for all the fights, stuff like that. So it's one of the best, most like tame, casual-like JRPGs that really exist, and it's just so much fun. All of the combat is done through like timing the button to press it in certain ways, solving little puzzles that you run into, stuff like that. It's a really fun game. I thoroughly recommend it to everyone. And if you don't have a Nintendo 64, yeah, that helped lay the groundwork for the Mario and Luigi games. Oh my goodness, you're totally right. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is another type of JRPG that had very, very similar things. Yeah, if you know the RPG games, then yeah. Man, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. That's another game I wouldn't mind playing on stream one of these days. That was a Game Boy game. For those that don't know what Bite-Sized Glitches and I are talking about. That was a Game Boy game that was very much like this in the way that like your button presses matter, and you're gonna keep on getting like upgrades for your items, like your shoes and your hammers and stuff like that. Like you're gonna get versions of upgrades for them because you're gonna be leveling up and stuff like that. It goes a little more JRPG than this game does, but that's fine. Man, those games are good. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Partners in Time, Bowser's Inside Story, all of those games, yeah. Not gonna lie, I can't beat Pokemon Red for the Game Boy. Really? Pokemon Red, very enjoyable game. I have kind of a sad story about it, though. So when I was growing up, I got Pokemon Yellow in 4th grade. I got it from, was it 3rd grade? No, it was 4th grade. 4th grade, I got it from one of my classmates because our teacher had this thing. You guys might have had something like this before in 4th grade where it's like you get like a fake currency and you learn kind of a little bit more about how the real world works with like exchanging goods and services and stuff. We had an in-game currency for this class called, you know what, I may as well say it. It was Mr. Duncan, and its name was called Duncan Dollars. So we had Duncan Dollars, and you could spend Duncan Dollars on auctions and stuff like that. You could spend it on on different like little benefits for the class and stuff like that. But one thing is, for the auctions, people would bring in items from home and get them auctioned off, and then people would offer a certain amount of Dunkin' dollars, and it would go to whoever brought the item. So someone auctioned off their copy of Pokemon Yellow, and I got it and bought it with those Dunkin' dollars, and it was super fun. Unfortunately, later, a cousin of mine convinced me that Pokemon Red was a better game than Pokemon Yellow and traded me games. So I have Pokemon Red now as a physical cartridge, and I've lost Pokemon Yellow to this cousin that I will never see again. Ah, so annoying. Anyway, Bite Size Glitches asks, have you played Bowser's Inside Story, Mario and Luigi Dream Team, or Mario and Luigi Paper Jam? I heard you played the first 3, but did you play the other 2? Let me see. I don't think I ever played Dream Team, and I'm almost certain I never played Paper Jam. I looked at Paper Jam because Paper Jam had like the Paper Mario character show up in it, right? I don't think I ever played that one. I don't know why. I don't think it was like, oh, I thought it would be a bad game. I think it was just, I might have been living overseas when that game came out. If it came out between like 2014 and 2016, that would be why I never played it. If that's when Mario and Luigi Paper Jam came out. Anyway, yeah. So I'm a little salty whenever someone talks about the original Pokemon games. Not because I don't like them. I do like them. But I was tricked out of the best version, Pokemon Yellow, the Pokemon Pikachu Anniversary Edition. Ah, anyway.
All adventures are dangerous, though, so what of it? We must press on toward the glory of an unknown treasure.
They're RPGs. Highly recommended if you like the others. Yeah, I probably should give it a go one of these times. I'm not sure if it's something that I'd stream or not. I'd love to stream it, but I'm not sure if it's something that I would feel like I have the time to stream. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those games, you kind of need to like farm in certain areas in order to get enough materials or enough experience to progress in the game. But I would like to experience those games on stream for the first time. That would be really fun content for me to make. So I'll look a little bit more at that. In fact, since you say it, I'm gonna go ahead and write them on my little list here. It's been a while since I've added them. But yeah, like you said, those games are kind of long and you need to do like a lot of farming in them in order to make them work. I'm still gonna put them down. I'm gonna write Mario and Luigi RPGs. And I'm putting that on my list of games to consider playing for the future. So, oh, I should check off some of these. Like I've played Among Us, I've played Fall Guys, I've played Phasmophobia, with the chat even. Oh, and I played Power Wash Sim, just a bit of it too. Man, I should go back and play some Power Wash Sim. I missed that game. That's a good game. Okay. Right. Okay, there we go. Oh, and I should also click that I've been playing Skyrim multiplayer. There we go. Sorry, it's been so long since I've opened this book up for stream ideas.
Okay, what's wrong with this rock? It sank right into the lava.
So,
please, after you. Do go ahead, old boy. Rather stifling in here.
So, you'll notice these rocks are falling into the lava. And our goal is to not fall into the lava. We're going to just make sure that we jump between them quickly enough. Okay, good. I have the ice power put on. We'll attach Cooper as well, because Cooper's the only one that can safely attack fire enemies right now in our group without spending FP. There we go. See this guy? Oh, dang it. I wanted to jump on their head. But, so this is a fire bubble, or a lava bubble, sorry, that we'll be fighting in here. The best way to take them down is to have on that ice badge, because otherwise I would have only been able to do 3 damage to them with my hammer. Instead, I did 10 damage to them because I have an attack up thing, and I have, oh, you took out my partner, meanie? Yeah, but I only would have been able to do like 3 damage to them because it would have been just with a hammer, by itself. So 10 damage is a lot better than 3 damage, I think you'll agree. So yeah, we're gonna leave on that ice power badge throughout all of this area because it'll help us a lot to trivialize a lot of these fights. Okay, whoa, nearly jumped off. So these zip lines happen here, that's kind of fun thing. I don't really need a POW block though. Sadly, there might not be any more because of the Mario and Luigi series games, because Alpha Dream went bankrupt. They were the ones who made the games. Oh, Alpha Dream was the company that made the games, and they went bankrupt, so we're probably not going to get any more in the series. That's unfortunate. Man, it's kind of sad whenever games kind of go that way, where you realize that you're probably going to be not having them in the future anymore. In this fight, really quick, I'm going to go ahead and swap from having ice power. I'm going to swap to Spike Shield. And the reason for that is, oh, dang it. I need to be able to jump on these guys here to flip them over, like so. And I wouldn't be able to flip them over unless I had the Spike Shield. There we go. So this fight will be a lot more survivable because of that. Again, this is all strategy that, like, I never read about growing up because we didn't have that sort of thing. It was just one of those things of you had to figure out how the game worked in the short amount of time you had to play. I've mentioned this before, but my folks had a rule where we could play for half an hour on Fridays and 45 minutes on Saturday, so long as we'd done all our chores. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. So, you know, trying to play a game in just that amount of time and beat it entirely, really rough, really rough. Trying to beat a game in half an hour or 45 minutes, or make significant progress in it at least. Like, I've shown, you know, it takes me about 2 hours to beat a chapter on these streams. So if you think about it, that would take like 2 weeks of playing through just Paper Mario. 2 weeks of playing just Paper Mario to beat one chapter. Bite-sized Glitches says, yeah, I had strict rules when I was younger. Lol, no fun. Yeah. My parents were well-meaning about it, and honestly, like, I'm happy they did that, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. But first, I want to quickly acknowledge Dylan asking if I can do lore on Monday, and I'm gonna say yes. I'm fully intending right now to do the Minecraft SMP lore on Monday. I have a weird remembering, like a weird memory that hitting these in a certain order, like triggered a puzzle of some kind, triggered like a bonus thing. That might just be me mixing up games. Let me quickly try something. I'm just gonna try some different combinations here. Okay, let's try. I'm just gonna try like 2 more combinations, and if not, then we're good. We'll just get out of here. 4, 1, 3, 2, and we'll just try 4, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll just leave. Okay, yeah, it's probably just me remembering something weird. Anywho, oh gosh, what was I saying? Yeah, I plan to do the Minecraft lore tomorrow. And the only reason that I wouldn't would be for the exact reason that we talked about before, right? Of, hey, this isn't... I don't feel like this lore is appropriate for the stream, or you guys decide, hey, we actually want to work on the lore a little bit more, right? If that's the case, then we won't have Minecraft SMP tomorrow, but otherwise, I'm planning on doing it tomorrow and revealing the lore there. Okay. There was something else I was gonna say, and I can't remember what it was. I'd been talking about playing... Oh, this is what it was. When it comes down to why I think it's good that my folks set such strict rules for us. I and everyone in my family has this issue where if we are given a story, we use that as escapism to an unhealthy degree. So, like, for example, if I'm having a rough day at school or something like that, I'm explaining like for when I was younger. If I was having a rough day at school when I was younger, one of the first things I would do when I would go home is I'd pick up one of my favorite books and reread it all the way through that night. And I'm talking like large chapter books. I'm talking about like The Magic of Recluse by Elie Modesset Jr. Like books that are of significant length. That was my version of coping with difficult times, is escapism. Engage with a story, run away from the issue, right? Focus on a different story, a different set of problems, a different set of solutions that are a little more removed from yourself, right? Escapism is something that every member of our family falls prey to really easily. Which sounds kind of fun, where it's like, oh, so like whenever you're stressing, you can just like pick up a book or watch a movie or something like that, and you'll feel a lot calmer. Well, the issue is, you know, you hit the end of that, and technically nothing's fixed on the other end, right? Like, you can escape into a story, you can escape into a book, but after all is said and done, you still have to deal with your problems. You still have to engage with whatever was making your life a little more difficult or whatever you were having trouble with. So that's why I call it escapism, because it is just escaping from your issues. It's not fixing anything in those moments. It's just running away from them, focusing on something else instead. Oh, goodness, I did that wrong. I remembered that there's a badge that I can get. Anyway, I'll get that later. Yeah, so, all of my family members kind of have this little bit of an issue of escapism, of the fact that, like, if we're having a tough time, we'll just throw ourselves into something and we will engage in only that content until we feel like there is some sort of resolution in our lives. It's one of the reasons why... Oh, dude, I haven't played Power Wash Sim in a while. Or might reinstall it. I think Paul might be watching the stream on a little bit of a delay. Because we talked about that a little bit of a while ago. But it is a fun game, yeah. Anywho, so like all the members of my family have had issues like this before, where if they struggle with something, if they're having a hard time, they engage with some piece of story or media until the issue is done with. Unless we catch ourselves and we realize, hey, we shouldn't do that. That's not actually helping anyone. It's not helping ourselves actually overcome any sort of issue. So, our parents recognized that this was a problem because, again, it's a problem every member of my family is facing. And what they did was they made it so, you know, things like video games, we would only be able to play those for half an hour on Saturdays. Oh my goodness. I was trying to swap to the ice power badge, and instead I flew with Paracarry and took a screenshot, none of which actually helps me. Oh well. We'll power shell here, because I think we're gonna need that in order to defeat both these guys in a decent amount of time. Oh my goodness, especially if they're downing my other character here. Oh, okay, you made them more powerful? Well, the good news is they're about to die to this, so that's fine. Anyway, yeah. So they recognized that escapism is a huge issue for us. And so the way that they overcame that a little bit, not technically overcame, but, you know, did their best to help make sure that we'd... would be aware of it, was reduce the amount of time we'd play on video games, made it so that we wouldn't watch movies as often. Goodness, I'm not liking how powerful this guy is getting. They should already be dead because I should have the ice power badge. Whatever. I made it. It's fine. Is this guy gonna run away now that he's the only one? Yep. Yeah. So they just made sure that that we didn't spend too much of our time just running away from problems and only paying attention to like one or two things. That's the short version of it. I'm pretty lucky because while that may sound like kind of like an excuse for parents, you know, it sounds like, oh, it's the perfect excuse. Of course, you know, you're concerned about the amount of time they spend engaging in other stories rather than yada, yada, yada. Sure, that's the excuse, right? No, legitimately, I was very lucky in the sense that I actually got to see other members of my family, beyond just my immediate family. I got to see them also struggling with this issue and refusing to do anything about it, which sounds really weird that I'm saying that it's a good thing that I saw that, but I got to see how destructive it was and how much I didn't want that to be a part of my life. Let me explain it in a little more detail. Not too much so, but my uncle, my father's brother, who unfortunately passed away from getting COVID. He, when I was quite a bit younger, he was playing World of Warcraft. We're talking back when it first came out, okay? So, like, the original version of it. Like, he'd played the Warcraft games, and then when World of Warcraft was made into a multiplayer online game, he played it quite frequently. So much so that he was spending way too much real-life money on that system. Money that the family didn't really have to spend. Because he was just so addicted to the escapism of the story, right? Anytime that he had like a little bit of an issue going on in his own life, anytime that he felt stressed or that things weren't going quite right, he would turn on this game and just throw himself into it and not come out for hours, and would spend way too much real money on it to enhance his experience in that game. That is not a healthy attitude to take, nor was it an attitude that could really help his family stay as strong as it needed to during times of trial. So, like, whenever they went through hard times, they didn't have a family coping mechanism because all the members of the family did different things that weren't really uniting in any sort of way. It wasn't a shared sort of thing. It was just all of them struggled in their own ways and made it have just unique fights, one with another, one different from another. So they couldn't really help each other because they refused to engage with each other because they'd rather escape from everything rather than rely on help. So that's at least my perception of it. I'm sure if one of them was hearing me say this right now, I'm sure I'd be getting kind of some angry words from them saying that that's not the case at all. But that was just, at least from my perspective, what happened, like how dangerous escapism was. It was making it so that, like, they would not engage with each other like they should. They would just put themselves only engaging with this online content because it was interesting and different from whatever real-world issues they had to be facing as well. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm hearing kind of some reciprocation there of like, yeah, it's right. It's anyway. So it was something they were dealing with. Thankfully, they kind of ended up sort of figuring things out a little bit as time went on, especially as my folks kind of got involved a little bit, as they said, hey, listen, this is what we're seeing. If you don't want to accept it, fine. But I realize that this is something we've both had troubles with. We've had troubles with escapism, with throwing ourselves into some hobby or some interest because it's telling a story way too easily and way too much. So my uncle eventually, he reached out to my father and said, because he'd been away from the game for a while. He'd been away from playing World of Warcraft for a while by this point. He said, all right, I recognize that I have this issue. I recognize that, that if I play this game alone, I'm going to see it as escapism. I'm going to throw myself into it, and it's not going to be helpful for me or my family or anyone like that, right? It's going to be a struggle, and it's not going to be something that anyone in our family wants to endure again. So he recruited my father and said, hey, I want you to kind of be there for me as a secondary chat, right? Someone who's seeing this happen, who plays along with me and warns me whenever we're getting too far. So he bought my father the World of Warcraft game. By this point, they were up to... No, they were not up to Wrath of the Lich King by this point. It was just the first two. So the core game and the expansion, Burning Crusade or whatever. So it's just those two versions of the game at that point.
Treasure, I'm going ahead, old boy. Oh no.
Another reason I really like Colorado. Anyway. So, I seem to remember there being something right on this section. Yeah, there's a little partner power-up thing there. I should make sure to get that. Anyway, so he reached out to my father and said, I want you to kind of be I will only play this game whenever you're with me. I want you to kind of be my double check to make sure that I don't go off the rails with escapism. My father was like, sure, this will be a good chance for us to kind of reconnect as well as family members, you know, because they are brothers. They do want to still connect and be in contact with each other, kind of like how I try to still be in contact with Fiber, even though we're in very different places and very different walks of life right now, because, like, they're still, yeah, anyway. So they started playing together, and unfortunately, remember how I said escapism is how every member of my family, it's something every member of my family deals with? Sure enough, my father started getting addicted to the game. Not to the point that it was super destructive, not to the point where he was, you know, being too distracted or being too, spending too much money on it, right? But definitely to the point where it was a concern for us that things might kind of go the same way as it did for others. So then, dang it, I meant to have, whatever. Anyway, so then my father reached out to me and said, hey, so, you know how all of us have troubles with escapism? Your uncle wanted me to play this game and be his backup and make sure he doesn't play too much. I can't be that backup anymore. Can you be my backup to be his backup to make sure we don't play this game too much? Thankfully, as much as I kind of like World of Warcraft, like there are some fun parts to it. It is not especially my cup of tea to play alone. I can only play it in groups. So unless both my father and my uncle were playing, I wasn't playing that game. So I was a pretty good way for them to keep each other in check. It was kind of funny how that whole situation went, though. I won't deny it. Yeah, but some games are like that. Yeah, they're addictive in how interesting they are and how compelling they are and how they pull you in. And if you're not careful about it, if you're not setting, you know, restrictions for yourself, you'll end up prioritizing it over things that you really shouldn't be putting lower on the priority list. So I'm just happy that my folks are really, they are not afraid to call each other out on things like that, and they're not afraid to evaluate things like that. Cult Master is saying I've had games like that before. You've had a game like that before. Yeah, I'm trying to think what game that was for me. I know there have been some games that I played almost nonstop. You know what? I think I know what it was. For me, it was Pokemon Ruby. Pokemon Ruby was a game that I played like nonstop. Specifically, actually, now that I think about it, it's technically Emerald that I played nonstop. I would play once all the way through. I'd beat it. I'd send over a Rayquaza and a Master Ball over to my Pokemon Ruby game that had near 100% completion. Not 100%, near 100% completion. I'd send the Master Ball over and the Rayquaza over, and then I would reset the game entirely and play through it all again. Pokemon Emerald was a very addicting game for me. It was the game that I played during my half hours and 45-minute time slots for the longest time. There we go. I'm not sure you're intended to do that. I think you're intended to just run away like Indiana Jones it. But whatever. So yeah, it's good to recognize when you have games like that, games that draw you in and like that you keep playing and almost can't stop playing, and that you'll prioritize over other things. I know Minecraft was a game like that for a lot of people because of just like how creative you could be in it, how easy it was to distract yourself by doing tasks that you didn't have to do, but that, sure, it would be kind of helpful if you did. Yeah. There we go. So I think it's very interesting to kind of look at the times that all of all of us have like similar issues, you know what I mean? It's even if it's not a video game or a book or a movie, there's something that you probably do that is your coping mechanism. It's your way of interacting with the world and either trying to have a little bit of calmness come from it, or maybe it's your way of venting out rage so that you don't do something stupid around other people, right? People have coping mechanisms, and if you're engaging in that coping mechanism irresponsibly, no matter how good of a coping mechanism you think it is, if you're engaging in it irresponsibly to the point where it's taking away from other people that matter in your life, you need to start kind of shifting around your priorities and maybe finding different ways to cope, different ways to interact with your feelings and with your struggles. That's one of the things that I always bring up in, you know how I've obviously explained I'm a teacher, right? So as a teacher, especially as a 6th grade teacher, I was often required to do it's kind of the equivalent of the DARE seminars, you know, like it's the don't do drugs sort of stuff, right? They have a different name for it at my school. I don't remember what it is. It isn't the DARE program. It's, gosh, I can't remember the name of it, which maybe tells you how interesting it is. Anyway, the system that we do, it focuses much more on, hey kids, we don't want you, like, you should not be vaping, you should not be doing drugs, things like that. And the tack that I take on it, rather than just saying like, hey, here's the harmful health effects, right? Which it's very good to bring those up. Don't get me wrong. It's very good to bring up like the health issues that people will have if they start using those sort of materials, especially too early on in life. There are real developmental issues that happen, physical developmental issues that will happen if you engage in substance abuse too early on in life. It's a real danger, and I don't want to downplay it or discredit it. But I would often, after giving that very basic level that everyone expects, right? Everyone expects you're going to talk about, the way that your lungs are changed, the way that your heart rate is changed, the way that your breath and teeth smell and all that sort of stuff. Everyone expects for you to talk about that. I like to focus personally whenever I go through that talk. I like to personally focus on the mental side of it, the mental developmental side of it, and say, hey, listen, you know a lot of this stuff I'm already saying, right? But you need to understand, oh goodness, sorry, I'm getting like really low on HP and I'm trying to decide if I should like use my whack-a-bump here or not. Anyway, I'm gonna run away from this fight. I think that's what I need to do here. Anyway, so the thing I like to focus on in those conversations are, hey, do you remember when you were like really little? My goodness, I have to run away again. Do you remember when you were really little, or if you've had any younger siblings, you've probably seen them do it. Do you remember when you were really little, how often you would cry and get freaked out over the dumbest of things, right? You would feel stressed and frustrated over things that were out of your control, right? Babies will cry whenever they are starting to get hungry. Whenever they're detecting that they need some sort of food or anything like that, they'll cry. If you're a toddler and someone took your favorite toy away, you scream and rant and cry, and maybe you try to hit them because you don't have any other way of expressing yourself. You don't know how to express yourself in a safe and healthy way, right? And by this point, the kids are generally kind of nodding, like, yeah, I remember being like, I either remember being really annoying or I have a younger sibling. That's the one when you really get them. It's like you have a younger sibling that is super annoying, right? And I say, okay, hopefully you realize that those issues that reaction that you had when you were younger, that your siblings are having when they're younger, it's because they right now don't understand how to react to those things in a healthy way. They don't understand the fact that, you know, oh, if something doesn't go my way, I should talk with the other person about it. I should figure out what their opinion is and then explain my side of the story, right? If someone blames you for something, should you just start screaming at them immediately? No, right? Like, you find out ways that you need to control yourself to react to them. And people kind of go like, okay, I kind of get that. It's a little weird way of talking about it, but I kind of get it. And then I point towards substance abuse and I say, these are forms of escapism. The same sort of issue that I have had growing up and that I still deal with constantly in my life. These are forms of escapism. If you are having a difficult time, or if you are not sure about how to cope with a certain scenario or a certain level of stress in your life, some people turn to these materials in order to try to cope with it, in order to try to escape it. And that prevents them from ever getting the emotional development that they need if they take it at these young ages, right? It's the same thing of, if a baby never learned any other way to ask for food than start crying, they would only ever cry for food, right? If you start vaping because you hear that's how you de-stress, that's how you get calm, it might work, maybe, for you, but you will never learn another way to calm down and to de-stress and to face your emotions if you're only relying on that from that young age. So that's what I would bring up. The fact that any sort of addiction, any sort of escapism prevents you from being able, especially at young ages, prevents you from finding other ways that you can become better as a person, that you can learn how to deal with hard times. Yeah, I have a lot of stress and et cetera myself. The way I deal with it is listening to music. That's great. That's a great way of dealing, because that's a non-destructive way. Listening to music, not destructive to you, not destructive to other people around you, right? The only way it's destructive to people around you is you're playing your music way too loud. If you're doing that, shame on you. Or if you're playing your music out loud on a subway. If you're doing that, But yeah, finding nice, comfortable ways to overcome your issues, little bits of escapism, right? Ways that you can engage with something a little bit to calm yourself down enough to engage with the problem in a healthy way that builds yourself up, right? That gets you talking with the other people. I totally understand separating yourself from a situation and doing a physical activity like going for a jog or listening to music. Okay, no, lol, the music isn't loud. Good. I totally understand removing yourself from the situation and engaging in something like a jog or music or playing a little bit of video games. That's not saying that that's a bad thing. It's only unhealthy if you only do that and you do nothing but that anytime that a stressful situation comes along. The goal should be separate yourself from the situation, calm down, engage with something else if you need to, return to that situation and fix it. Is it a conversation with another person that needs to happen? Is it a new attitude that you need to take to the situation? Is it just removing yourself from that place permanently? Getting yourself out of that work relationship, out of that social relationship? If you always rely on other things to escape from it and you never actually fix the main issue, it's going to be a struggle that you have constantly throughout your life. So, just a little bit more. We are getting strangely philosophical in this chat right now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, it's unhealthy to do too much of anything. You can't even have too much water. Too much of any one thing isn't good. You're totally right. Yeah, that's how people should read situations like that and read coping mechanisms. They're coping mechanisms because you're supposed to learn how to overcome like the raw emotion of the moment and then return to it with a cooler head. Anyway, Colorado here.
Close, so very close. My treasure hunting senses are simply going mad right now. My intuition tells me it's over here.
And this is the whole reason I didn't do the whack-a-bump. Hallelujah. Almost all of our material back just right there. Phew. Oh, we can also get some health items again. Gonna get rid of this POW block. Dang, philosophical MrM. I mean, let's be honest, it is mostly armchair philosophy, right? Armchair philosophy is where Someone that isn't qualified to be philosophical is being philosophical. I fully understand and admit that most of my philosophy in that moment in particular, while it does have some academic backing, some of it was just kind of taking the situation and making it a little too simple. I'm willing to acknowledge that. I'm willing to say that everything that I just said, as interesting as it may have been, or as much sense as it may have made, it is not 100% going to work for everyone. And that isn't to try to minimize the issues that other people are facing. Sometimes some people fall so deep into an addiction or into a version of escapism that they need to rely on it just a little bit longer before they can keep on getting out of it. They've made it such a reliance, such a necessity in their lives that they need to stick with it for a little bit longer. They can't just cold turkey. I gotta go. See ya. Nice stream. I'll try to catch you on your next stream. Thank you. I should also be going soon anyway now. Normally I end it at like 10 minutes ago, but I've been skipping past my save blocks. So, yeah. Alas, even my finely honed intuition can be wrong on occasion. So long. Bye. I shall not give up. Let's head back the other way. Perhaps the treasure is a bit deeper down in the volcano. Okay. I think there's a save block down near the bottom of the volcano, so we'll go ahead that way. And then we'll call it there, and we'll have a boss fight. Oh, you know what, though? I could do the boss fight right now, because the boss fight's, like, right over there. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the boss fight. Sorry, everyone. We're doing the boss fight. The boss fight is, like, right here. Mario still approaching. Identified as searching for Star Spirit. Code Red. Report to boss. Alert, alert. Okay, let's make sure that we have the right badges on, because if we have Spike badge on right now, that is an issue. We have Ice Power badge. That's good. Okay, do I need anything else? I don't think so. I'm gonna keep Quick Change on. Actually, do I need Quick Change? Thinking on it, I'm planning on just keeping Sushi out the whole time. Well, no, because I could switch to Bow. I'm gonna keep Quick Change on. I think switching to Bow will be a little bit better anyway. Sorry again for getting all philosophical. It's like I said earlier in the stream, like, I like doing that sort of thing because it feels like having an honest conversation with someone about what they've learned in life. And I feel like you get a little more honest of a look as to how that person thinks and how they experience life. So I love doing things like that. But I realize that it's maybe a little uncomfortable for people that just wanted to come in and watch me play a video game. So I'll try to, for at least the rest of the stream, I'll try to stay on just the video game side of things. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. First thing we're gonna do is Starstorm. And we're mainly doing that so that we can down these small little lava bugs. Oh, they're still up? How much health do they have? Yeah, we're gonna do Tidal Wave. Plus, press A, B, A, and down as shown? Okay, hold on. Okay, I didn't do full damage there, because honestly, I don't even remember that that's how that worked. Okay. It costs a good amount of FP, but that's fine. 4 damage? That's fine, we can take that. Alright, attacking the main lava piranha now. Oh, that's gonna be an issue. It's kind of weird timing because of how he's like bobbing his head up and down. I normally time it off of like the collision with the head, and the collision's in kind of a wonky place right now. Oof, okay. This is gonna be rough, people. Alright. The good news is, as long as I keep this up, he's gonna keep on doing just 2 damage to me, and I think I can survive that for a good while. There we go. And then more of this. You may wonder right now, MrM, why in the world did you put on Ice Power? Because right now it's not doing anything. It's not giving me additional help. Like, I'm just doing the 3 damage per hit that I should be doing normally. There we go. And look, it looks like the boss fight's over. Phase 2. And now you can see why this is much more important. Okay, we're gonna go ahead first. Oh, there we go. We're gonna do Tidal Wave. There we go. It's doing so much more damage to all of them. Yes. All right. And it's a lot easier to time that hit now.
Mario, you shan't fight alone. Colorado to the rescue. Hey-ya! What? Ow, ow, ow! What? It burns, really? So sorry, old chap, but that's all I can do at the moment. Good luck with all this.
I just love Colorado. He tries so hard. He's honest, like he's running into a situation that's hard and difficult for him because he just wants to help Mario. He's going up against a lava boss to try to help us. Ah, it's just so cool. Colorado's awesome. My hero. Legitimately though, like it's really interesting to engage with a story of someone that isn't super powerful, isn't the one that's supposed to be the hero in the scenario, but tries their best anyway. Oh, I love those sort of stories. Okay. That should be enough to defeat all of these guys again. Something that I'm also noticing, did you notice that Sushi's, even just their splash attack, counts as a water attack? Their belly flop was not doing the 3 damage that it was before. It's doing 5 damage. Look at this. So even this belly flop counts as a water attack. Oh, well done, Sushi. You killed the boss. Yay. And that's legitimately it. That is the final boss here. There we go. 32 star points. And we've almost leveled up again. Look at that. Away they slide. There's Colorado.
Well, that's that then. Now there's nothing between us and some treasure. Let's go.
Here's the Star Spirit. We rescued them. Yay. MrM has beat 1 more chapter in the stream. Woot. I'm sure I would have beat it like on time if I hadn't gone down so many conversations, but well. It was fun for me to do that, so. Playing the game is fun, talking with you all is fun. As long as I'm enjoying myself, I think I've accomplished what I needed to this stream. End of chapter. Venturing deep into the steaming Mount LavaLava, Mario and friends plucked the lava piranha and rescued the 5th star spirit, Miss Star, from a fiery fate. But the treasure Colorado is looking for is yet to be found. Whatever could it be? Was that something strange is going on around here? And very quickly puts us right back in the scenario. Because the volcano is starting to erupt. Mario, this way, we must hurry. We can't go back. It's not possible. There's an invisible wall. Colorado?
The treasure doesn't seem to be anywhere around here. God, where could it be? Ah, treasure! No, it's, some sort of starfish? This won't do. The adventure is never over until the treasure is found. Ah, yes, of course. Perhaps that horrible fiery monster had it and was hiding it somewhere. Yes, that's it. I'll just run back and check. Well, what's this trembling then? Probably nothing. Kids with fireworks, no doubt. Now, after that treasure.
No, wait.
Yuck! Hot! That's lava, isn't it? It's coming near. We must flee. No, the treasure is still here. I just know it.
Mario, this volcano's gonna erupt any time now. It's way too dangerous. We have to escape another way. I feel a slight wind coming from beyond this cracked wall. Could you blow it up? Here we go. One of the first times we've used bombette in a good while. There we go. He runs away. Mario, hurry, hurry, the lava's getting higher. Let's go ahead. I want to go for this. There we go. You'll notice now the lava's coming after us, slowly rising.
Ah, I knew it! At last, the treasure's right there! So close, can't resist! By the stars, I'll risk my life for that treasure!
The Star Spirit's just like, nope! Here we go!
My treasure! No!
Woo! And you'll notice the treasure chest went flying off. Landed off on a certain island where we met Sushi. So we will still be able to claim it. We'll go ahead, save and continue is what I'm going to say. but we are not actually going to continue. We'll leave on this pleasant little music of Peach right here, trying to figure out how to help Mario next. So, let me move us back to the chatting page. Right. Thank you all for showing up to this stream. We had a good number of people. We had about 70 unique people come over today. That was really fun. I enjoyed playing this part of the level. Mount LavaLava is one of the more fun levels for me because of like how competent I feel while playing it. You know, the fact that I swap between the ice power badge and the spiky shield badge at like good points for me to deal like really good damage to both and get through it all. But it's always like right at the end where I start to get a little stressed, and it's just so satisfying to hit the save block, hit the health up block, and just run into the boss fight and do really well there. We barely lost any health at all. That was really good. I have felt really successful from this stream, not only from being mechanically very good at the game, but also from kind of the fun little conversations that we had. So I hope you all enjoyed it too. I'm really looking forward to what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to be doing the SMP tomorrow, provided that the lore is all in check and they're all done with it and it looks really good. So tomorrow we'll be playing the Minecraft SMP. Tuesday as well, we will stream very briefly for 1 hour from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 5 to 6 Eastern Time, or 2 to 4 on Pacific Time. 3 to 4 Mountain Time. Anyway, so 4 to 5 Central Time is when I plan on streaming us fighting the end boss on Tuesday in Minecraft. And then that'll be one of the last times that I actually stream the SMP lively. So, again, thank you all for coming, those that did. Thanks for participating in the chat, and welcome to our new people that did show up for this and subscribed and said hello and all of that. I really appreciate having you all here, even if the Stream Elements bot doesn't actually show half of your names. Just know that even if the technology doesn't call you out, I try to make a point of calling you out here, so thanks for being here. I guess that's really it. I can't really think of so much else to say, so long, students. Goodbye.